Welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm making sourdough einkorn sandwich bread. I'm going to show you the process and tell you the recipe here in this video, and then if you want a printable version, I will leave a link to the blog post below. So I'm going to make this really easy for the beginner sourdough baker. However, I will say that you should go to the blog post. I will link it below that has the full recipe on it and print that out. It has the whole process on there. The first couple times you make bread, you're gonna feel a little bit overwhelmed with how many steps there are, but they're actually very easy. You just have to kind of check the boxes on them. So go and print that out. But I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing here, which is that I'm melting 5 tablespoons of butter and I'm gonna let that cool. Meanwhile, I'm going to add 3/4 cup fed active sourdough starter, 1.5 cup filtered water, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 1 to 2 tablespoons of sugar, and a tablespoon of olive oil to my bowl here and whisk it with a fork. When the butter's cooled down enough, I'm gonna add that as well. And for the flour, I'm adding 2 cups regular flour and 2 cups einkorn flour. Now, you can make this with 100% einkorn flour. If you'd like to convert it, it would be 4.5 cups of einkorn flour. I'm making it with 50-50 here because the regular flour does have more gluten in it, and if you're not sensitive to gluten or have any reason not to eat the gluten, we prefer to add a little bit of that because it does give the bread a lighter, less dense, and more fluffy taste and texture. But it's still delicious. I've made 100% einkorn loaves before. I'll leave a few below. If you are a 100% einkorn sourdough person, I have a bunch of stuff that will relate to that. So you're gonna be doing some stretch and folds here. Now with sandwich bread, I find that you don't need to do as many with sandwich bread as you do with rustic bread, but I still suggest doing a few. So I'm doing one late at night here and then putting it in the fridge this day. I actually forgot to do most of the stretch and folds, but as you'll see, it turned out great anyway. It is summertime at the time of me filming this, so a warmer house is gonna yield a nicer loaf of bread no matter what. I let it long ferment in the fridge and then I take it out the next day. Pull it into a rectangular shape. I fold the sides over and the corners to create that sandwich bread loaf rectangle shape. And then I put it on parchment paper and place it into a sandwich tin. I'm gonna let that ferment for another 2 to 6 hours, again, depending on the temperature of your house, but you can let it just keep going until it gets at least to the top of the sandwich tin, if not a little bit higher. And then I'm ready to cook mine here, but I did want to point out this finger test I'm doing. You can see how the dough is very springy. When I press down on it, it springs back up. That's a nice dough. You really want that texture. I'm gonna add an egg wash to the top. This just gives the dough an even more decadent flavor and a nice kind of crisp to the very top of the sandwich loaf, which I really like. And then I'm gonna bake the bread at 350 degrees for 35 minutes. And I'm gonna remove it from the sandwich tin and let it cool on a cooling rack. You wanna let it cool for at least an hour. I know this is the hardest part whenever you're making bread because you just wanna dive right in, but it is still cooking, so you wanna let it continue baking. This is just such a good bread. Einkorn is an amazing wheat with high protein levels and just really good nutrients and flavor. So we really enjoy this for toast, peanut butter and jelly, deli sandwiches, grilled cheese, French toast, you name it. So I hope you enjoy this recipe too. If you're brand new around here, please hit that subscribe button. Every week I post a new video on farm to table recipes and homemade natural living. Thank you so much for stopping by the Duvall Homestead.